All right, Gia, Tim, and Laura are going to make a video. Initially, we're going to watch it in regular speed. All right, go ahead. There's not a right or wrong way to hit a tennis ball. There's efficient and inefficient. Efficiency is the economy of motion, least amount of moving parts, least amount of muscle recruitment. The #1 reason to change strokes, prevention of injury. Second, have more fun, more exercise, keep more balls in play, win more. We can tell right away that you've been well taught. The brain, the athlete's a biocomputer. It's not muscle memory. The muscles don't store memory. It's brain memory. So we're just talking to you about Spanish. To be fluent in Spanish, you just need reps. To be fluent in anything, myelin, the brain produces myelin. So myelin is a substance that gives an individual better motor movement with speed and smoothness. So again, that's the way we use the word fluency. Now today we went through the dimensions of the court and physical laws. That's the statement that comes from Braden. The dimensions of the court and physical laws dictate stroke production. No coach's opinion or any unique theory. We filmed from different angles to give you a different perspective. This is May 1, May 2, 2019. So we start a video file, and then we also have a written file. The written file, you went through 2 different goal sheets, or I should say 2 different skills tests, and you filled out a goal sheet. Throughout the tape, what you really have to think of, Gia, is grip, swing, and body, just 3 components. Now, you don't really have to take notes because you're going to copy this as a private YouTube clip. But what you need to do when you get it is watch it 3 times. First time straight through. Second time, you stop and start your tape and take notes. And your third time, you write down in logical sequential order the adjustments you need to make. All right, now let's back up for a minute. Now let's go back so we can see the people on the side of the court. Thanks. Okay, now hold up. So right here, we've got, for just a few minutes, we have Vanessa teaching Layden. Now, teaching is information transfer. Right? Coaching is a human relationship. Teaching, once again, information transfer. Now, Layden is a superior player, far superior player to Vanessa. Now, when we were meeting, I said, okay, with Layden would beat Vanessa very easily. And she's a much more experienced player. But the last 6 months, and we have film, pre and post of, say, Vanessa, that she's moving the racket more efficiently than Layden. For example, on the strokes they're working on right now, backhand volley, underspin backhand. All right, so right here, just picture tells you 1,000 words. You finished way too high on this backhand volley. Ratio of balls hit. Nonsense is a great word. Nonsense, no sense. Common sense is fading away. Is fading away. You really, in the end, you want to become your own teacher. You want to become an independent thinker. You want to be a problem solver. You really want to be mature beyond your years, to manage your time. And again, kids get programmed out, they get lessoned out, and it's like, you know, they don't work, they just take lessons. It used to be in America that you take 1 private lesson a week, and we were producing better players. The kids would go out and do baskets, they would call each other, they hit the backboard. Okay, so let's let it run. So this tape will have 3 parts to it. This first part is just preliminary information. We'll look at your strokes in regular speed. The second is a narrated slow motion analysis. And then the third is a classroom review. Now this is the most important tape, the technical tape. Confidence comes from winning, winning comes from skills. Skills come from practice and know-how. And now the little things turn into big things, but again, you do a lot of things really, really well. Now, tennis, compare yourself to yourself. You know, we have an expression we share with people. When Crummy plays crummier, who wins? Crummy wins. But Crummy doesn't know they're crummy. So there's a lot of confusion with people with their level of play. Now, there's a great basketball coach, I'm sure you've heard of the late John Wooden. The fundamental doesn't change. The speed at which you have to execute the fundamental changes. Okay, so what they're teaching you as a youngster playing basketball, you know, how you have to stand at the foul line, how you square your shoulders out, how you set your elbow, how you set your palm. There's a great expression from the late Stephen Covey: begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. So you've already established the fundamental base. Now, obviously, you don't hit as many one-handed volleys as two. The grip determines the angle of the racket face. The angle of the racket face determines the angle of the racket path. Your backhand grip is slightly off. Now, if you were a golfer, golfers are really into strokes. Golfers are into technique. And Y is the scoring system. If you ask a golfer, they shot 72, they can break it down how they do on the first hole. They go through all 18 holes, shot by shot. And tennis kids, not so much. Not so much. And actually, what's interesting is most tennis players don't change. When they do change, it's when it's too late or it finally becomes important to them. They don't make the changes. Like Layden's back there, she's already proven that she's a competitive tennis player. Okay, she's on the coach's radar. And you know, right now it'd be, I would say no, it's a matter of you improving your skills. Now in this swing, we'll do it in slow motion. The path of your racket is not going to the path of your target. Now, shadow swinging in front of a mirror is an out-of-body experience. Looking at this videotape for you is an out-of-body experience. You want to be your own coach, but you have to have people that will help you out. Okay, it's good you smiled after that. 14 muscles to smile and 72 to frown. Here's something off topic: is you're never supposed to be responsible for anything you have to feed. Dogs, cats, horses, kids. And you know, when it comes down to it, we take it upon ourselves. If we have to look at your goal sheet, and if you tell us, I want to be a tournament player, I want to be a college tennis player, I want to play pro tennis, so that takes the hit and giggle out of it. It's like, okay, you're telling us you want to do something special with tennis, you can. But live and let live. If somebody wants to just play recreational tennis, you already play well enough. You just, you know, obviously if you picked a racket, set your racket down, the way the brain works, the brain would take you back to where you left off. You've already played enough tennis. If you went 5 years, 10 years, and you didn't hit a ball, you would come back and you have the same exact swings. The brain is so sophisticated, so powerful. So the deprogramming, once again, the athlete's a biocomputer. The deprogram, the reprogramming, Layden's over there, she would need to unlearn. It's not just learning, say how to hit a backhand volley. She's got to unlearn and then relearn. There's 3 motions in tennis. The volley is basically a pushing motion in a linear pattern. The ground stroke is lifting and circular. The serve is throwing motion. You know, it's like throwing a baseball, throwing a football. But you know, people, they'll hear things when they first start playing, like down together, up together, scratch your back. We tell no one that they should play the blame game. But if you were to play the blame game, you'd want to go back to what you were very first taught, 7, 8 years old, like the overhead, scratch your back and point. The overhead is like a trophy position. There's no substitute for a good beginning. Now, as a 13-year-old, teenagers start to think that they're too old. If you double your life, you're 26. You triple your life, you're 39. I mean, there's competitive players on the pro tour that are, you know, getting close to their 40s. In doubles, definitely players are in the 40s playing pro tennis. It's really the human spirit, it's willpower. We get into coaches' mind vitamins, or what athletes have said, teachers, parents. Nike, just do it. Billie Jean King, if it is to be, it's up to me. One we use all the time is from Nick Saban. Choices are just an illusion. If you want to be good, you have no choices. So you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. I told you that you blew it. You should be able to speak Spanish fluently by now. Well, you're going to cry over spilt milk, or you're going to just finally take advice in that. I'm sure you've heard that before from someone, that you should be able to speak Spanish. Opportunities, you don't lose an opportunity. Someone else takes it. Someone else takes it. So as we make it, I'm watching you hit balls. I watched you hit this morning. We tell people all the time, it's really 10% tennis and 90% character. It's just the distance from your left ear to your right ear. Okay, very quickly, the teenage boys that you were with this morning, the average dog takes about 4,000 commands to do a task. It takes far more to get a boy to do the task. We always tease and tell people that girls are smarter than boys. Car insurance. Why? Car insurance. It costs more money. But when you get teenage boys together, there's 2 million time clubs. You're told to do it 1 million times, or you do it 1 million times. So we're going to go through this, but let's take some questions right now. But most of that of this segment is just talking to you about character, not so much technique. But we'll do technique next. All right, so yeah, the notes. Send us notes. My email is smiths10s@aol.com. smiths10s@aol.com. Now, when it comes down to, it sounds like doom and gloom, but less than 10% of the kids that visit send us email. That's where tennis kids are entitled and empowered. They just don't get it. They just don't get it. Where a basketball kid, they're on a team, and the coach said, "Hey, no, you didn't send me your email. Sit on the bench." And then the way it works too. I grew up in ice hockey, where it's all volunteer coaches, and tennis is, right away. They say you've met Raleigh. He's been 6 months was here recently, working as an intern, just learning, not working for money, working for education, and. But most people right away, they're just, charging, young guys charging $50, $60, young gals $50, $60 an hour for lesson. All right, so let's go through this. Ready position, center is at a 45-degree angle. You have both grips on 3. Elbows are raised. Now, obviously, the physicality, you want to have your feet further apart. You want to be down like a cat. Your knees are going to be bent. All right, go ahead. But the core information that you've been taught is very good. Okay, now you turn with your left hand on the racket. All right, now you already start to tilt your own head back. Your racket head is back. Very good how your left arm's parallel. It's turned to the net or with the net. Your right elbow is too low. The right elbow, anatomically, when the elbow's in, the racket face is slightly open. All right, go ahead. All right, now you want to synchronize the step and swing, and you're very close to doing that. Okay, go ahead. Now, we would say that you're in a cognitive stage, you're processing. It's not, your tennis is not automatic. It's not like you've hit millions and millions of balls. But you're dragging your back foot. Check the checkpoints, like an airplane pilot. Check, check, check. You're dragging your back foot. Your own head is tilted back. Your own head should be in front of your stepping foot. Now, look at that position, and coach will set it up the same here in a minute, and it's going to be exactly the same. It's going to be brain memory. You're hardwired, like all of us. All right, ready position. Figure out how you organize your hands, you organize your feet. So that's great. So that could be a poster for an instructional book right here. So now when you turn, Okay, I like how you split step, left hand on the racket, racket heads up. Now this is so much better than most, but you could raise this elbow ever so slightly so the racket faces flat. If the racket faces flat, you can go fast and forward. Now what people do, instead of changing the angle of the racket face, they change the angle of the racket path. So they also change the speed of the racket, so then they'll go slow and they'll go downward like this. All right, so let's watch what happens. So it's not a big enough step. You're an athlete, you're playing basketball, okay? Now we tell kids almost every day, breathe, let the athlete out. Now the physicality, okay? We would tell you need to make a big mistake, don't be tentative, be aggressive. Well, you can see the racket went down, but the racket face was slightly open. Okay, now let's go to the next angle. Now the forehand volley is not just the forehand volley, it's going to be how you return a serve. Okay, hold up. Now, so when you return a fast incoming serve, you just turn, and then the racket is like a wall, and then you just go forward. You counter speed with speed. Now the physicality, really at no time in tennis are you going to be in this position. You're up on the balls of your feet and you're moving. Now, I know you're busy with school and basketball and tennis. You should have a skip rope routine. We tell people 12 minutes minimum. 3 minutes on, 1 minute off. And during that 1 minute, you do abs. And then you do 3 more minutes, 1 minute, 3 minutes. And in your house, you have to have a place where you check that off. Did you do it? Are you a hero or are you a zero? Okay? People in tennis, they don't get what they expect, they get what they deserve. Okay? If you want to be a great tennis player, it's just a choice. But it's, you know, like the young kids that are staying here, they're really nice kids. But they're here under this roof with us telling them what to do, and they're not doing it. So we'll get 3 out of 100 kids that come in and they're going to send us the email, they're going to get in front of the mirror, and you know, the work ethic is generally only as big as the dream. All right, so go ahead. Okay, hold on. Now, this is what we would call a Band-Aid. I mean, it's not major surgery. We look at film almost every day. You see just the names on the board there. We have people send us films. This elbow needs to be raised. The ball is clearly going to be above the level of the net. Okay? But now, because the racket face is slightly open, the racket face is going to go slightly down. Now, gee, the ball's hit 3 ways. It's a plus, a minus, and IP. Plus is strong, minus is weak, IP is in play. All right, go ahead. Now, it's very good how the step and swing went together. Okay, but you're ending up in a neutral position. You don't want to compliment. People that are really successful in sports, they thrive on criticism. You know, be polite, acknowledge someone giving you a compliment. But you want people to criticize you. You know, so when a coach criticizes you, it needs to be an echo in your head. Okay, you're in the neutral position. Your head should be in front of your stepping foot, leaning forward, and that's a defensive position. Excuse me, an offensive position. You're going to be up on your toe. You know, the right arm is slightly bent, which is good. The left palm is down. It's out. A lot of positives. Let's watch it from the next angle. Okay, hold up. Now it's a great picture to look at. It's excellent how you pre-stretch the calf muscles. I mean, you're ready to go. And again, that's why you skip rope every day. Okay? You have to have happy feet. Number 1 is head work. Number 2 is footwork. Number 3 is racket work, body work, and that's combined. Now, people come to see me because of racket work and body work. But it's right up here. If you want to be great, say, I'm choosing tennis, I'm going for it. And I would tell you, if you want to be great at basketball, you just say, okay, at 13, you know, maybe it's 1 more year, but even basketball, I would look at that gap year. Okay, I say, I'm going to be if you want to be a college athlete and beyond. But look how close the arm is to the upper body. Okay? It's too close. So you're programmed, you don't have the ready position. Okay? And you know, most people are like, oh, the ready position is not that important. All right, go ahead. Now I like the grip you have. It's a soft grip. You're not tight with your racket. I came up and pulled the racket out of your hand. You only slightly squeeze the racket. And it's almost a continental. A true continental grip opens the racket face 45 degrees. So Coach Ilya went through the grip system with you. And obviously you've done that with Dave before. Heel pad is on 3. Upper part of your hand is towards 2. And then you go forward. Just like you're going to catch a ball. Okay, go ahead. All right, now, very good how you get down to the level of the shot. Okay, now when the ball gets below the level net, the racket face is going to open. When you don't have to counterbalance, the left hand should be over here in this position. All right, let's look at one more. Okay, now the definition of boredom, okay, is to insult one's own intelligence. You know, the bored are boring, okay? You know, just, you know, what coach speak, what coaches say. You got to get fired up about changing how you have this right arm. All right, now you're going to go forward. Now, if the ball is below the level of net, we would say yes, but raise this elbow. The ball is going to be above the level of net. Go for it explosively. Okay? You're much better off to make a big mistake than make a little mistake. You have a better chance of having the racket face be correct at the impact point by swinging fast and swinging slow. All right, go ahead. Now, it's great how the step and swing went together. Your power source on the volley, speed of the incoming ball, and your momentum forward. Okay? Now, hold up. So, racket hit above the wrist, come up on your back toe, power line. It's good that the left arm didn't come way over on this side. Okay? All right, let's look at the forehand ground stroke. Now, let me see if I'm right, because today I told you, you see your target through the net and you don't get the racket below waist level on your forehand ground stroke. All right, so the physicality, you're going to move your feet. Happy feet. You know, the great Rod Laver saw Bjorn Borg play for the first time. He was asked, how's he going to do? He said he's going to be awesome. He's got happy feet. Okay? Coach Ilya, you know, filmed you running. You got to lean forward more. You got to make less noise. You got to be less of a flat foot runner. He'll go through that with you. All right, so let's watch the forehand ground stroke, slow motion. Okay, hold up. So I like how you change your grip. I don't like when you change your grip. Your grip is fine for the forehand. Layden does the same thing. So now, you know, are you going to play on a grass court? Are you going to play on a fast indoor carpet? Are you going to play mixed doubles where someone's serving 135 miles an hour? Plus now the women are serving like that. Okay, so do what Roger Federer does. Do with your grip, turn with your grip on 3, and then change your grip. Now I'm going to show you this all during the classroom review. There's not really clarity to this tape until you see all 3 parts. All right, go ahead. All right, so obviously you're looking at this in slow motion, but you need to activate the unit turn, turn faster. But this is great. Left arm parallel to the baseline. Hold the racket up higher. You'll hear this term over and over again. Racket on edge. Okay, look up here for a minute. The edge of your racket touches my nose. Racket's on edge. For the volley, it's on edge. And now right in here, as I make a unit turn, it gets on edge. All right? You need to hold the racket higher, longer for racket head speed. So when you were a little kid and you went to the park to ride a swing, the downswing creates the upswing. So you wait, wait, wait. It's called trigger the energy. All right, go ahead. All right, hold up now. Your right hand is coming in at waist level. All right, go ahead. It was very good how you closed the racket face. All right, hold up now. You let the ball get up too high. With the shoulder, you're really up at my shoulder level. Okay, all right, go ahead. Now, people ask me, why do you make these tapes? Well, lots of reasons, but the first answer we give is we want you to have a longer hitting zone. There's a lot of math involved in tennis. Okay, here are the 5 S's. So there's going to be it's going to be management, okay? When it comes down to just recording skill management. How many times do you shadow swing in front of the mirror? How many times do you skip rope? Okay, you know, you can write that down. But then there's a lot of math for stroke production, there's math for strategy, there's math for statistics, and then there's math for score. And typically that's all people know, is the score. You know, they're going to ask you, what's your UTR rating? They're not going to ask you how far do you get the racket head below the ball. You know, they're not going to ask you how many rotations you get on it. Excellent how you're up on the back toe. This is the kinetic chain. Lower body looks great. Okay, you lift it up on the heel here. But now the strings are already pointing downward. So you'll have a tendency to mirror your competition. You know, you play somebody who hits the ball really slow, and you swing like this and you're early. Your dad with that Boston Red Sox cap on, the baseball pitcher throws a changeup. They throw a slow pitch. The batter is ahead of it early. They hit a foul ball. It's the same principle in tennis. All right, so let's watch it again. And most likely we're going to see the same thing. See a little different contact point, but we're going to see, okay, bingo, go back, go right, go back, go back, go back, go back. So the racket right here, you center the racket, you change your grip too soon. Okay, the grip is fine, but you don't have options. And I'll show you in the classroom, you don't turn like you're going to steal the ace. Set the racket up initially like a volley. All right, so go ahead. Right here now the racket face is tilted down. Now also too, is the racket head is not up at eye level. The racket head and your own are at the same level. So motivation, hungry dog, are you going to, okay, this tape, this is great, I'm going to watch it. You got to do your regular schoolwork first. I'm going to go through, maybe one stroke at a time. We have people that have set it up where their kid is just constantly seeing it. We now know on YouTube views how many times somebody's looked at it. You know, say somebody's looked at the tape 34 times. That might be the parents looking at it 34 times. But is the kid looking at it 34 times? All right, go ahead. So the racket, it's a delayed backswing. So Layden does the same thing. All right? Now, Roger Federer copied Becker. Federer is awesome. Everybody knows he's awesome. But the nuts and bolts, who is talking about how he hits the ball? You know, I mean, I go back to, you know, I can tell you about his first coach, just because I've read many things that his mother has written. Federer. Okay, so Federer, he doesn't do this. He doesn't do this. You know, that's where someone's like an Andy Roddick serves to him. Federer just goes like this. I'm ready. Where most people go like this, and then they have to stand way back, and then the court is spread. Player can hit the serve anywhere. All right. So, figure out you're close to the baseline. Go ahead. It takes you too long. We would call it a delayed backswing. By the time your shoulders are turned, the racket should be set. But it's a delayed mechanism. You don't turn, you don't leave the racket alone and turn. You go like this, in this position. And you're hardwired to do it. Actually, one good thing is the fact that you haven't played so many hours. It's very good that you played basketball and you have athletic ability from another sport. But your technique overall, let's go ahead and watch. It's not like you have to change your grip. It's very good. It's not like you have to change your body. This knee should bend. It should be much bigger step out. You got to sit in the chair. Again, the physicality. Okay, go ahead. I appreciate your honesty when you said you were a little bit nervous today. At one point, not only did you have a camera pointing at you, as I had the other students there, it was just 6, 8 people, and I said, okay, let's watch your play. Because what I said was to them, you know, Layden, I said, if we had you do this, we had him sing the junior song, I, me, I, me, I, me. It says that if I took any of you right now and I said, just sit down and watch Gia hit, they should all be able to give you a lesson, stroke by stroke. Okay? Now, you don't have the racket free falling from a high position. Your body really doesn't go down. There's not enough knee flexion. You don't sit in the chair, the imaginary chair. All right, go ahead. Now look where your hand is. Your hand should get down by your knee, like the racket, the big giant letter C. like the racket is going to go up a flight of stairs. Now overall, it's very good spacing. You're hitting further away from your body. Okay, hold up. Now, I've looked at a lot of film. Your cheek should get puffy, like a goldfish, because you're blowing air out. Yes. Now, it don't look like that. It looks like you're biting your lips. So you're going to get tight, okay? It's really interesting. I mean, very few people are loose, okay? In other words, just loose, like let that racket fall. Lady sitting behind us, she was in a national final, and her dad said, will you go talk to her? I said, yeah. 1, breathe. Every hit say yes. 2, have big targets. And 3, this,
she's gonna be.
The girl may beat you today, but
She's gonna be better.
Eventually you're going to be in my rear view mirror, sister, because I'm going to practice so much. This is a better contact point, but it's still high. In other words, it's away from your body. Okay? All right, go ahead. All right, now because it's a high contact point, you have a very short hitting zone. The hitting zone is about 18 to 20 inches in length. A time span is 75 milliseconds. Look here, I can play it like this. Here, here, here. Now again, coming back to the Boston Red Sox. There's a strike zone. In tennis, they don't have to pitch the ball to your strike zone. You got to move all over the place and line up your strike zone. So, you know, a little bit of a different sport. But actually, stepping out, you don't step on home plate. This is great, once again, with the legs. Okay, you've lifted up. You want to finish hand to hand. You don't want to release the swing from your wrist. But you do that because you have a high contact point. Okay? So once again, if you're early, you're going to be penalized. All right, let's go at it from the next angle. We're going to see the same thing. All right, ready, position. And then you turn the grip downward too soon. You don't change the grip from here. Turn for a volley and then change your grip. All right, go ahead. Okay, hold up. So now your shoulders are turned. It's a delayed backswing. The hand is down slightly. Great, you're close to the baseline. Very good conventional step. Now when the racket goes down, the body goes down. Don't let your arm lengthen out this way. Okay, you're going to have your arm lengthen out this way. So you keep your arm bent. And it is bent, but just bent to bent. Okay, go ahead. Now you want to stay down with your eyes. Keep your eyes at the hit. Now in this particular forehand, the body, two things that you can improve upon. You definitely have opened up. Your belly button is facing the net tape. Now the left side is pulled. Now the brain is ahead of the hand, so people sneak a peek. You made all the computations, all the calculations to make the hit, but you've already opened up. So the other thing is this knee this time is bent. So now go ahead and let's watch the finish. Now if you lift up, okay, so let's see if you lift up after the hit. So you come up and come up, okay, a little bit, not all the way. If you come up after the hit, that energy doesn't transfer into the shot. All right, let's watch it again. Now, the forehand volley and the forehand ground stroke, okay, you hit 8 shots, basically, 8 basic shots. And you can just break the 4 of them into pairs. Forehand volley, forehand ground stroke. 2-handed backhand volley, 2-handed backhand ground stroke. 1-handed backhand volley, 1-hand underspin backhand. Overhead and serve. They're so similar. All right, so this movement right here, the question is, are you going to change it or are you not going to change it? Now, the way the brain works, you could say, no, I'm not going to change that. If I were to tell you really what's important would be, okay, at least get the racket head below the ball. At least get the contact point out here. But for a high level of tennis, it comes down to even like say disguise. If you wanted to play a drop shot, your racket face is already closed. So you'd have to realign the racket to play a drop shot. Okay? All right, go ahead. Very good. Both hands go on the racket initially. Now here you took a little bit of a shortcut. The racket goes down, but the body doesn't go down. Really bend this knee. It's a three-point landing. The racket goes down, the body goes down as the foot goes out. Okay? All right, go ahead. Now at the hit is a much better contact point, playing the ball at waist level. But once again, you've opened up prior to the hit. At the impact point, your body's going to be lined up, regardless of the stance, open stance, semi-open. Your belly button's going to be facing the net post to the right. But it's already, the body's already pulled out. All right, go ahead. All right, Gia. That's a very good finish how you relax the swing from your elbow. Your center of gravity is very good. If we were to push you right now, you would be running forward. So many people, when they end up, their belly button's facing the telephone pole, say the tree and the light pole, and they've over-rotated. Okay, so let's watch the next angle. Okay, hold up now. We asked you to hit down the line. Okay, now that gives you the best chance of having the longest hitting zone. Now earlier today we had you stand here, we said, okay, point your racket down the line. You pointed the racket this way. So we say, okay, close your eyes, point the racket, and you point it over here. You pointed actually not even to the net post, but even further wide. Hands further to the out in front. Now hold up. Now the racket face is closed. Okay. What you want to do is when you initially turn like this, you're in a position to take the ball out of the air. When the ball comes over the net, it's got to be in the air first to get over the net. So your nervous system's like, I want to go in, I want to go in, I want to be able to take the ball out of the air. But obviously you're ready for the ball to bounce. All right, go ahead. Left hand's on the racket. Okay, very good. This time you're sitting in the chair. Okay, hold up now. You really want people to be picky. Say, okay, a lot of positives. I mean, for the most part, it's a forward step, racket face is closed, left arm's parallel to the baseline, but you're bent slightly at the waist. So when you do that, you get too close to the ball. Actually, when you bend at the waist, that's one of the reasons that you lose your loop. You want to hold the racket up high, the body stays up high like this. Okay, if you think about like a Roger Federer, any great player, years ago, Bjorn Borg, they're like this. You don't see them waiting for the forehand where they're this way, bent at the waist. It's both an upper body sport and a lower body sport. All right, go ahead. Okay, hold up. Now it's good spacing. It's much better how you got the racket down lower, but a lot of times that's because the ball bounced low. Now, you need to adjust the back foot so you sufficiently can turn the hips in. Release the hips. When it comes down to you stayed down, you didn't lift. Also, the ball's still on your strings, and you've already opened up. Your body's the leader. So goes your body, so goes the racket. All right, so that's where, watch the tape 3 times. One of our students, a gentleman from Slovakia, we have a 25-hour course. He wrote it out. We have a manuscript. He wrote it out word for word. Word for word. So motivation. Okay, so right here, the body's the leader, so goes the body, so goes the racket. Okay, go ahead. And now you lift up after the hit. Right hand should be above the left eye. All right, let's go to the backhand volley. Now last week we had a boy here from California. I made him take notes, and he did a very good job taking notes. I made the tape, then he was here for a week or so, and I said, okay, now watch the tape, take notes. And then I said, all right, now that you've taken the notes, he wrote them out. I said, now type them. Type them to your parents as a text message. And he said, oh, no, I'll just take a photo of them. And I said, no, type out the notes. Type out the notes. I don't like cell phones. I have never taken a photo with my cell phone. I was going to be the last person to get a cell phone, and then I had to get one. And then I was going to be the last person. I used to get text messages, but I didn't. I would tell people, yeah, send me a text, but I won't read it till midnight. I mean, cell phones, oh my word. All right, so again, activate the feet, the athleticism. Now, you know, Layden was filmed again a second time. Arush has been filmed many, many times. He was filmed the other day. You actually should be standing here and then moving forward. You've already had a lot of technical training. Okay, very good. The grip is on 3, racket centered, your left hand's on 3. You're going to turn from the right hand. From the service line in, once again, it's going to be a composite grip with your right hand. Every grip is the same. Every grip's the same, except the forehand is 3 grips. Okay, so it sounds a little complicated. But we'll go through that in the classroom review. On the forehand side, you have a composite grip for the forehand volley. You go back to return serve, you start on 3. Now, some players are going to have 2 grips. Santiago, he's out there today, he's a player who has 2 grips. Arush is a player, he has 3 grips. Okay? Composite, now you return serve on 3, and then you turn over this way. Okay? All right, so let's watch what happens. Now, what you did with your right-handed volley, the left-handed volley is going to be exactly the same. What you do with your left hand. Arm's going to be bent. Okay. The ball doesn't know it's being hit by a forehand or backhand, so the principles are the same. So this arm is bent. Okay, now you need to change the right grip. The bottom hand needs to go to the right side of 1. It's the grip of a lifetime. And when you change the grip, it's going to feel worse, not better. You got to thrive on that uncomfortable feeling. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. Break the comfort zone. All right, go ahead. All right, so you have too big a backswing. The racket face is facing almost to the side fence. All right, go ahead. Now, with one flaw, there's a counter flaw. If you don't change your grip, you have to change your wrist. So you have to change this wrist position. You change your elbow position. Your hands are way too close to your body. Okay, so coming back to baseball, if you're going to hit a bunt like this, in this position, but you want to hit a home run, in tennis you hit a lot more home runs than you do bunts. Okay? All right, you're stepping and swinging together, which is good. Biting the lips, not breathing out. Own head's tilted back, and then now you're going to see how the follow-through goes up too high. Okay, now ratio of balls hit. You've hit a lot more topspin backhands where you have a high finish. Now, you're dragging the back foot. Now, that's where to get in front of the mirror and repeat it. Repeat it. We tell people, get a tripod, get a camera, it's not very expensive, film yourself every day. Every day, just look at it. All right, go ahead. All right, let's watch it again from this angle. Okay, so it's grip, swing, body. The right hand is not where you want it to be. Left hand is. Swing. Swing's too far back. Left elbow's not raised. Right arm's not straight. Okay. The hands come back into your body in this position. All right, let's go to the next angle. The one thing about being a basketball player, the technique for shooting baskets, say you're on the foul line, the target lets you know if you did well. In other words, you just know, palm to your target, get the arc on the shot, does the ball go in the hoop? Okay? When someone goes out and hits the backboard, the bad thing about that is they don't know how they're doing. They're just banging balls against the backboard. Okay, so let's watch from here. Feet shouldn't be flat. All right, hold up. Now, we would say this is binocular vision, like you're looking straight ahead out of a set of binoculars. You want to turn so much, you're going to be looking out of the corner of your right eye. The left elbow needs to be up. The racket's going to be right out of the corner of your eye. If you take the racket back to here and it's based on body rotation, that would be fine. This is too much arm movement. All right, go ahead. And then the racket goes back up. It should go just like a tabletop. The racket's going right across the shelf. Look up here for a second. We tell players, take the racket right across the net tape. We have people actually just practice this way on the net tape. All right, let's go back to brain memory. Let's watch the end of this shot right here. Let's see if you go way back up high. Okay? Not as high, but you pulled over too much. All right, let's go backhand, or the third angle, two-handed backhand. All right, same thing. The hands away from your body. It's not natural having your elbows out like this. Ben Hogan, the golfer. Do what's unnatural for 10 years and you'll be great. If tennis was natural, people would just pick up the racket and be able to play. All right, go ahead. So smaller little steps. Look where the racket face is facing. It's facing the alley. Okay, very good here how the body's lined up at a 45-degree angle. Now go back a click. So you got the racket face vertical at the hit. So that's what advanced players do. Now the hitting zone is that racket should track out to the target as long as possible. Okay, go ahead. Okay. All right, let's watch it again. Left elbow up. Okay, too big a backswing. But again, that's where it should be: big body movement, little swing. You volley with your legs. So again, phraseology. It's going to be big body movement, little swing. All right, go ahead. Now go back. So now watch how this right arm comes back into the body. You need to extend with the right arm out here in this position. Okay, let's go to the next shot. All right, now keep the racket up high. The swing's going to go high, low, high, inside out. So your swing right now is not up high. Okay, it's lower. All right, go ahead. Now you don't quite have a backhand grip. It's the heel pad. Right sided number one. Okay. Now, again, ask questions. You know, here, when you go home with Coach Dave, now, their arm's too far away from the body. The racket has already collapsed below your wrist. Now, if you write this down, you put it in logical sequential order, and then you rehearse in front of a mirror. So you're going to hit off a cone. Then you can do it. But if you think, well, I'm just going to pick the racket up and go out and play, you know, you have to practice off the court. You have a better chance of improving your game off the court than on the court, initially. All right, go ahead. Now the racket is pulled back. Now watch where you hit it. Okay, hold it, go back a click. Now, it's your game. It's ownership for your game. What are you going to do with your game? And, you know, be mature beyond your years. You're collapsing the wrist, elbow is bent, you're standing straight up, okay? And you're not in a position to breathe out. Now, one flaw is connected with the counter flaw. Okay, you're not going to be confident to really breathe and hit out. To just say, oh, I'm going to be loose and go for it, because you don't have the racket face closed. You don't get the racket head low. Now, inside out means close to away. Watch where you hit. This is too close to your body. Too close to your body. Now, you're doing well. I've had people have these videos made and they start crying. They go, oh man, I don't think I had so much to work on. All right, let's go to the next angle. Teddy Roosevelt. I'm not giving you hell, I'm telling you the truth, and it sounds like hell. Okay? Now, that's not usually how it works in tennis. Again, we said it earlier today, people get killed with kindness. Activate the feet. You play with your eyes first. And then there's a built-in computer from your head to your feet. Little steps, little steps. Left hand's on 3, which is good. Okay, go ahead. You change your grip, but not quite all the way to a backhand. Hold the racket up at eye level. That's a very big step, which is good. Now, many times players take too big a step. Small steps. Now, when you hit, and sometimes you have to hit like this, it's not going to be a perfect pitch every time. You have to improvise with a fundamental range of correctness. Come up on the back toe. This front leg should be straight. All right, go ahead. Very good how you're not wristy. Very good how you least swing from your elbows. But you didn't lift. If the racket goes up and the body stays down, it's a pretty safe bet you can hit a lot of balls in the net. All right, let's go to the next angle. Okay, go ahead. All right, hold up. Now activate, turn faster, racket up high, racket on edge. Now hold up right in here. It's not quite a backhand grip. The grip determines the angle of the racket face. A backhand grip will help you close the racket head. When the racket face is closed, then and only then can you truly swing inside out. Okay? So look over here. The racket should just glide like a pendulum effect, just like a swing. All right, go ahead. Now, what a lot of people will tell you is that you hit the ball well. It's good, it's good, it's good. Good is the enemy of great. Okay? Good doesn't win. All right, not at a big time level. Now, on that last backhand, you lift it up after the hit. Let's look at this one. Don't let the feet be flat, ever. Okay? All right, now on the initial turn, the racket is away from your body. The racket's already low. So the swing's going to go high, low, high. Efficiency. So your swing's going not really low, but it's almost low, high, low. Okay? So it's an extra movement. Now the extra movement you're going to have to time, and you don't need that. All right, go ahead. We would say this is binocular vision. You haven't turned it off. Now, right in here, the racket should already be arm against your body. The racket needs to get right here. It's called the slot. And we have people hit off a cone. And, then when it comes down to it, we do so many drills, and people come back to visit and go, well, you haven't been here in 3-4 months. Have you done this drill? No. There was just a little boy here that hits the ball quite well, Jonathan. And I just asked him question after question. And I've worked with him, Ilya's worked with him the last 3 years anyway. And it's like, no, you doing that? No, you doing that? No, you doing that? No. Okay, go ahead. Now the racket face is open. So the wrist is starting to collapse just slightly. All right, go ahead. Now the racket doesn't get down by your knee. Doesn't get down way below your knees. All right, go ahead. All right, now you see how the racket pulls this way. You got to adjust the back foot. All right, let's watch it again. Now when you come back, okay, you want to come back with a crossover step. So the racket is not on edge. The racket is not on the inside. Okay? The racket is not set in the backswing. All right, go ahead. You bring the racket back up slightly. Now we would say right here, you're pulling the ball, you're not lifting the ball. So then what happens is spin. Spin is the indicator of the swing. And very few people hit true topspin. If the racket goes like a Ferris wheel, the ball will go like a bicycle tire. All right, go ahead. Now the wrist collapses. Look at this, severely. Go one more click. It's right here. Going forward. So again, your hands are at waist level. We can't see your hands. You're way too close to the ball. Okay? Baseball, the batter wants to throw that curveball to the inside. You won't be able to hit the ball out of the infield. All right, go ahead. All right, now you're very close to this kinetic chain. Your heel is up, hips have turned in, head's evenly distributed between your shoulders. All right, let's go to the next shot. And should be where you're hitting backhand volleys, one-handed underspin backhands. All right, go ahead. Now the left index finger slides up to the throat of the racket. Left index finger is on the strings. It helps with racket head maneuverability, racket head awareness. All right, go ahead. Now you don't have a backhand grip, so you're going to have a late contact point. Psychology, we sum up psychology in one word: feelings. And then there's a big problem with avoidance. What will happen is you'll avoid hitting one-handed backhands. All right, go ahead. Left arm should go all the way back. So left arm does go back, keep the left palm down. All right. Now look where the racket head goes in this position. Not a problem. What do I have to do with the grip? What do I have to do with the swing? And the chain is only as strong as the weakest link. You're going to have to hit some one-handed backhands. There's a very good chance that as you get older, you may elect to just hit one-hand backhand volleys, not two. All right, go again. Left hand needs to slide up on the racket. All right, so the racket's too far back. All right, go ahead. Now the arm starts to go down. Arms coming into the inside, Gia. Okay, so the relationship of your arms are going to be leveled together. We say like a letter T. All right, let's go to the next angle. So what we do with players, okay, hold up, is, you know, you can see these two players, three players. So you got Santiago, you got Arush, you got Layden, and yourself. How many days until you graduate from high school? How many days until you go to college? And we would recommend college tennis. We would recommend the path of the late bloomer. There's very few teenage sensations. So, and then what are you going to do for that time? You'll never get a day back. All right, going ahead. This again, left index finger in the strings, left elbow up. All right, so right arm straight. Okay, you see how the racket comes down. Now you don't have a backhand grip. Okay, so the grip, once again, determines the angle of the racket face. The racket face is slightly open. That's the reason you have to go downward. All right, watch it again. All right, so let's go to the next angle. Okay, hold up. Now, my longtime friend Layden over here, she's doing fitness with a coach, and she came up and said, "Can I just hit some balls?" I said, "No." Okay, practice is not designed for your pleasure. It's designed for your improvement. So today, you know, she had to run a mile for time. She had to do this and this and that. And then it's like, okay, we can measure that. Anything that can be measured can be improved. It's pretty difficult to measure desire. All right, go ahead. So left index finger in the racket face, left elbow up, similar to your two-handed backhand. Look where the racket face is. And then you're letting the racket go down and then back in close to your body. All right, let's watch it again. So one, you need to make a couple adjustments. You're going to be sideways, let that left arm go back, let the racket head go through. But you want to, okay, go ahead. Okay, the racket's too far back, go ahead. So the racket goes down. Okay, hold up, then you freeze, correct yourself. One of the best things to do is get a practice partner. You could be one of your friends who doesn't play tennis. Teach him how to play tennis. You toss me some balls, I'll toss you some balls. And you know, what happens is people get stuck in the mud. They go, well, I don't have anybody to practice with. My friends don't know how to play. Teach them how to play. Find an empty court. You actually can practice in a parking lot, driveway, okay, backyard. All right, so let's go to the next shot.
Just feeding the ball.
Yeah.
The ball.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feed her though sometimes.
No, we say, actually, we have these online clips, is feeding a ball is like feeding crumbs to a pigeon. You know, just hand feeding. Okay, now the one-handed underspin backhand, it's going to be very similar. You're going to turn, get the left index finger on the racket face. Now, you haven't spent as much time with this shot. So if there's a way your parents could build the cinder block wall, you may be behind the garage. Now, it's actually ideal if you can have 3 backboards. The portable backboard, the great base backboard. If you, inside the garage, you put up a piece of plywood, and you could practice with foam balls, especially in the winter weather, it's rainy. And then if you could have a real backboard. You could get Dave to come over, and maybe you could do it behind your garage. Now, I haven't had a player who built a proper backboard who didn't play high-level college tennis. It's a pretty big sign of a commitment. Before anybody would come to visit us the second time, they should build a backboard, if they can. All right? Go ahead, watch what happens here. Racket comes down and off to the side. That's predicated by the grip. All right, let's go. Next angle. So it takes the brain about 10 minutes to program for a task. So then what happens is the deprogramming is quite difficult. All right, go ahead. Okay, hold up. Alex, come here for a minute. All right, Alex, we're catching the refrigerator. Over here, Alex. We know you're hungry, Alex, but are you hungry for success? All right, so Alex, Gia doesn't have a backhand grip. She's sideways, left arm's back, left palm's down. She's not breathing. But let's watch you in the background. I'm always looking at film, Alex. Smile, Alex. It's a new day. Let's go back and see what happens with this guy. So small steps. Okay, racket face is slightly open. Look at Alex. Doesn't get the racket down. Look at the physicality. You didn't get the body low. Your body is a built-in gym. And the more you do the isometrics, you go down, up. You know, coaches set that gym up, and he's got weights and such out there, but just go do down, up, get in position, get low. All right, now her racket's going to go down like this. She's got to change your grip. You have to change your physicality, what you do with your legs. All right, let's go to the next angle. Alex, you can go back to work. It was great to see you, Alex. So index finger in the strings, turn the upper body. Now the underspin backhand is a great tool of variety. You can play it as an approach shot. Sometimes you have to defend. If someone hits a really difficult shot into the corner, that's your only option. Yeah, you've turned quite a bit. Every time you turn a little bit more. The racket face should be slightly open, that's good. It's good spacing, now you hit away from your body. But again, the hand comes back into the body, the racket goes down. Just like your one-handed volley, it's interesting. By the time you get to the third angle, you start hitting the shot better. So that shows some athleticism. All right, so look where the racket finishes. Racket finishes way over here. So just think of logic. Point A to point B. Path to the racket, path to the target. Gia, we have to hit down the line. Should go like this. The racket should be right there. Should be an archway, but the racket's over here. So let's watch and see it again. Now remember I said this tape should be like a school project. Watch it, and then we have all these tapes for you to watch as well. Okay, so you need a backhand grip. Go ahead. And now watch what happens with the racket. Racket goes down off to the side. But you're on your one hand, notice the backhand, you're close to a forehand grip. Let's look at your overhead. Now hold up, let's go back and watch that. Okay, so you're a clicker. You're clicking your feet, you're shuffling your feet. You take one step, so this foot's here, go ahead, and bingo, you don't go anywhere. You need a crossover step out of that corner, so you go over the front foot, over the front foot. Now, you can go out in Scandinavia, Finland, Sweden, they do what's called fartlek running. So you go out, you are skipping, high skipping, over under, crossovers, cross unders, and you need to really move. Now watch, let's go back and watch that. All right, so we'll just watch where the racket goes. Where the racket comes over on this side. Okay? All right, overhead, throwing motion. Now what we'd like people to do, Gina, for example, say that you do your math homework. Do your math homework, go practice, maybe it's 7 minutes. Then you do your English homework, go practice 7 minutes. Now, if you're a basketball player, which you are, you're like, okay, go dribble. Okay, go shoot. Then the more reps, the better. With, actually really the way it works, you got to practice before practice, you got to practice after practice. 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. You can go to YouTube. YouTube is an amazing, amazing tool, a resource. Okay, your parents don't have to drive you to a yoga class. You can just take a yoga program, just put in 10-minute yoga program. And there's one that's better than the other. I know Zippo about yoga. But when it comes down to it, I just worked with some parents and coaches, especially some parents, where it's like, okay, the yoga, they were doing it, and traveling with some kids for 6 weeks, and they get good at it. Say, no, I just have to do it 10 minutes a day. Okay? But that's where people on the phone and text messages, all that stuff. All right, now the setup. You don't quite have a continental grip. You're close. You're not turning. Binocular vision. I like how you set your left hand on the racket, but you got to coil. You got to turn. The left arm comes down too soon. Now you're facing the net at the hit. Now it's logical intelligence to face the net because you see your target straight ahead and through the net. Of all the shots you need to swing up the most on the overhead, the power X, left arm should be up. All the body segments, from your knees, your hips, your shoulders, at the impact point, you're going to be facing the net post to the right. All right, let's watch it again. Now, what we'll do, we'll send you this tape, and then you send it to Dave. He's a busy guy, but he'll watch it. He loves the game. All right, so now, you got to use crossover steps here. Crossover steps will get you further back. Half the steps, twice the distance. And then also, you're going to get more body rotation. But are you going to let that in? We ask people, are you a 1 or a 2? 1 means you're all in. Okay, I got it. I'm all in. And then if you're not all in, you're a 2. It's not like, well, are you a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4? No, you're either a 1 or a 2. Okay, so you end up setting up your hand. We've got to go through that. You want to throw, it's like you're throwing the racket. The shoulder goes forward first. Go ahead. Left arm comes down too soon, and then you face forward. All right, let's go to the next angle. But you have the makings of a serve and an overhead because you're close. But remember, close only counts in horseshoes, grenades. You know, close doesn't count in tennis. It's, you know, your game of inches. All right, hold up. So binocular vision. So with experience, right now you're saying to yourself, driver lob, driver lob. And it's a lob. You analyze to anticipate. Racket face is open. Now we got to cross these feet over. All right, you got to turn that upper body. You're going to feel like you're looking out of the corner of your left eye. Now again, you don't quite have a continental grip. Now it's all one and the same. Because you don't coil, you're not going to stay sideways. Because you don't stay sideways, you can face forward, and you'll have a tendency to go towards a forehand grip. Okay, go ahead. So that you take the racket the right way. I'll show you in the classroom setting. You got to go from the shoulder. Left arm's going to come down too soon. Okay, hold up. So you have the advanced movement with that racket on edge. All right, go ahead. All right, you're out in front, which is good, but you've opened up. And now the eyes. When the eyes go, the head goes. Inch for inch, the head's the heaviest part of your body. Really, it's like a bowling ball going the wrong way. Okay? You're facing forward at the head. All right, next angle. Now, you're a junior tennis player. You don't have that much pressure. With parents, an overhead is expenses. Okay, hold up. You know, paying for this, paying for that. That's an overhead. All right? What we say to young kids, the 7 dwarfs, they skip, they're happy, and they're I-ho, off to work I go. Your parents have to sing I-O, off to work I go. So what are you going to do? The only way you could pay your parents back is whatever you choose, just work and just go for it. All right, go ahead. So that's a shuffle step. Okay, you didn't turn enough. Okay, you set your hand gets too close to your head right here. Left arm's going to come down too soon, and then you face forward. Experience. So you already have a lot of experience. You've already hit a lot of tennis balls. Let's go to the next angle. All right, grip on 2. Turn the upper body more. Stay more than sideways. Or get more than sideways to stay sideways. Well, how you set the racket's excellent. Okay, the movement of the racket, you have it. But now you're facing forward. Now, with a continental grip, Gia, you're going to swing left to right. And the continental grip will align the racket to your target. But you're swinging straight ahead. Now look at your feet. From your nose, your toes, you're facing straight ahead. All right, so now we'll go to your serve. Go to your serve. Okay, hold up. Very good stance. Front foot's at a 45. Right foot should be parallel to the baseline, like how your weight's forward, up on your back toe. I would be like the size of a quarter or your butt cap of your racket. I would move that left foot back a little bit. Just a tiny bit, so then you're not going to foot fault. All right, go ahead. All right, hold up. Now, a little bit of false sense of body rotation, having the right foot here. Bring the right foot over. We say like you're standing on a skateboard. Have the throw of the racket over your wrist. We say like you have handcuffs on. Turn like a baseball player. All right, go ahead. Now your body's perfectly straight. Now you start to have a scissors. Your left arm goes up. Left arm goes up. Hold up. Now with your eyes, you're looking straight up. chin up, chin up. Probably wants a cracker. You're not going to look straight up. You're going to look up and forward. The scissors is the left arm's up, the right arm's down. So once again, you haven't turned. Okay, it's just arm motion at this time. All right, go ahead. Okay, now it's a high toss. That's a very easy change. It feels awkward when you do it. I'm just changing, I'm just tossing low. All right, now this back foot goes too far. You should come up to the instep. Go through a pinpoint stance. Go ahead. Now the left arm comes down. The toss is still not in the picture. Still not in the picture. So, number one reason to make changes in your strokes is prevention of injury. So, you're falling to the left, you're bending at the waist. Very good how your arm extends. So again, the brain is so sophisticated, what players do is they slow down. They slow down and say, I'll get the ball in the box. All right, so you should be airborne. You're going to uncoil, you'll be off the ground. All right, let's watch one more from this angle. Now you start to look like you have a turn, but it's just with your upper body. Your head should get over your back foot. Right foot should be back here. Both arms should be bent. Now the strength of the individual comes out. There'll always be individuality. Welby Van Horn, I never got one player to hit the ball the way I wanted to. Exactly the way I wanted to. All right, go ahead. Now this arm is straight. All right, go ahead. So we would tell you from an art form, when you can't sleep at night, you turn and toss. I turned and tossed all last night. But if you're serving, it should be turn, toss, not toss and turn. Turn, toss. So the knees are going to turn, the hips are going to turn. All right, go ahead. It's fine to have a slight scissors, but this is too extreme. Now that's one of the reasons you have to toss so high, so this hand can catch up. Now, the cameraman, excellent cameraman, he had to zoom out because of your toss. So let's see what happens. And now it's up to the left, still going, still going, still going. And now there's the apex. So watch. All right, a stretching exercise for me. Now it falls at least a racket length. I would say it's falling 3 feet. That's 3 feet up, that's 3 feet down, that's 6 feet of extra length. And then we just say, what are you going to do about it? And many times the response is nothing. Worse than that, it's going to be, I'm going to let my parents continue to pay for lessons, continue to pay for clinics, and I will continue to do it the same way. All right, so you're facing the net, toes, knees, hips. And then what happens is you get the ball in the box. But, you know, what's the speed of the serve? What's the accuracy of the serve? What's the consistency of the serve? Okay, so if you don't make changes to your serve will be stuck in the mud as a point starter. You want it at times to be a point ender. Okay, so let's go to where you land. Let's see, and how you land. Okay, you do go into the court, which is good. It's good that your front foot doesn't spin way off to the side. Get those cool shoes, watermelon blue. I don't know where they ever came up with watermelon blue. I thought watermelon was red. All right, so let's go to the next angle.
So the toss is too long.
Yeah, too high a toss. It's a myth, you know. More people think with a toss high for more time. When you toss high, you have more time for extra movements. I don't want to mention any names, but Layden tosses too high. Is your ride here?
Yeah, she just got to the gate. Yeah, and thank you. I'll be back tonight. It was super nice meeting you. I hope to see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you will train tomorrow morning. All right, so it's a very good stance for here in the ad court. Ad court's a better stance than the deuce court. It's further apart. Your legs are further apart. Right foot's parallel to the baseline. All right, go ahead. I like how you start to turn, but again, your head should be over your back foot. There should be some knee flexion, meaning your knees are going to bend, and then you're going to rotate. The knee turns in, the hip turns in. This arm is not going to be straight. This arm's not going to be straight. It's going to be loose. High toss. Now, this looks like you might catch this one. Let's see. How did I know that? How did I know that? All right, go ahead. I just watched a lot of film. Here we go. The serve's going to start from the ground up. Knees turn, hips turn. If you just leave your arms alone and just turn. So you got to write that down. That's a pearl of wisdom. Leave my arms alone and just turn. All right, go ahead. Now what you want to do is hang a string from a ceiling. Have a little piece of tape at the end of the string. Highest part of your reach, outstretched arm, body's up, outstretched arm, outstretched racket. All right, keep going. All right, so the right arm doesn't straighten out like that. You don't quite have a continental grip. But it's so much better than most players because you bring the racket between your elbow and your head. And you're a non-breather. And now you're facing forward. You're just swinging towards your target, okay? And that's where you get to a real high level. Players are going to take your serve, which is a minus or an IP, weak or just neutral in play. And they're going to come up and they're going to, tennis lingo, they're going to rip it. All right, let's go to the next angle. Okay, we go through things, you know, who wins the race, the rabbit or the turtle? The turtle wins the race. Inch by inch, it's a cinch. The story of the three little pigs. You need to make your tennis game, build your house out of brick. It takes more time, but a lot of people don't want to go back. Okay, hold up. Now, okay, right over here, okay, to us this is very special. This is what needs to happen. Lady needs to know how to hit a volley. And it's not too late. She has all sorts of experience, but she needs some technical input. All right, so right foot to the right. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so you step back slightly. Okay, now we know that this foot is going to come over to here. We know this arm is straight. We know the toss is going to go up high. We know you're going to face forward because it's an automatic conditioned response. Habits. Mickey Mantle. We form our habits and then our habits form us. Okay, so it's so important in the beginning. All right, go ahead. All right, now at the hit. Falling to the left, bending at the waist. Okay, eyes are not up at the hip. You're facing forward. Okay, so your energy is going in the wrong direction. You want to have all the forces going up and out to the right. Okay, let's take some questions. Okay, Gia, Laura, Tim. We went through the grips. Every racket has 8 sides. It's an octagon. This is number 1 going to the right, number 2, number 3, 4, 5. Your left hand going to the left. Still start right at the top. 1, 2, 3. Both hands, you take the base knuckle of your index finger and your heel pad. Those 2 reference points form a straight line. With your left hand is always on 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. The grip determines the angle of the racket face. Look at how the racket's facing forward. Grip on 4. Grip on 2. Now, grips are all the same with the exception of the forehand. Your serve and overhead are going to be on number 2. Your underspin backhand, topspin backhand volley one-handed, backhand volley two-handed, right side of 1. So the nice thing about this tape is you can stop, rewind. Left hand is always on 3. Serve is always on 2. Your backhand is always going to be on the right side of 1. Forehand volley, you have 3 grips. From the service line in, you have almost a continental grip, a composite grip. heel pad on 3, upper part on 2. As you move back, returning serve, you're going to turn like this, grip on 3. Now, Gia, look over here for a minute, and now you go to grip on 4. Okay, Roger Federer, return a serve. He turns this way. Okay, so now he can steal the ace. Ball comes in very fast. It's like a volley with an added follow-through. Roger Federer can hit drop shots. He's from here, he has disguise. Now for yourself, what you do on your forehand, it looks great, but right here, this is your movement. You change the grip here. The grip you use for forehand is great. But when you change your grip, turn for a volley first, wait, now you're going to hit the top spin, now change your grip. So you practice that 5 minutes standing in front of a mirror. Here, 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 here. So you have a delayed backswing with your forehand. You turn your shoulders and your racket's here. So then you start to just use your arm. Get the racket to go further down. Wait with the racket up high. Remember I said racket on edge? You don't want to have the racket in here like this. You don't want to do this with your racket and then be in this position. Turn with the racket up high. It's high right now, eye level. It stays at eye level. Eye level. Eye level. All right, so in the high center of gravity. So the racket goes down, the body goes down as the foot goes out, like this. Now you're in this position. Go out away from your body. Remember we said get the racket in the slot. Racket's going to go down here. It's down by your knee. You're a basketball player. We say get the feeling like you're dribbling a basketball, just like this. You're petting the chihuahua. Okay, what you're doing is you're petting the Great Dane. Okay, maybe a golden retriever. All right, so you're like this, and you're not getting the racket to go down. Okay, out away from body. Breathe out. Small little steps. Small little steps. You actually do a very good job with your lower body as far as stepping and turning like this. Transferring your weight, rotating your hips. 2-1-2. Turn with 2 hands on the racket, and now finish with 2 hands on the racket. You swing with 1. So 2, now 1, now 2. Now you're already at an advanced stage where you don't have to be thinking about getting the racket like this on your initial turn. You turn like this, and now your forehand starts from here. Relax the swing from your elbow. Okay, don't relax the swing from your wrist. Good way to do that, hit specialty shots, off-pace passing shot, topspin lob, is bring the racket up over your head like this, in this position. Okay, so here is a forehand volley. Here's a left-handed forehand volley. Grip on 3, bent to bent, step and swing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn, change my grip, straighten my arm, like this. Right side of 1 for all backhands. And I'm just going to push the racket forward like this. So ready position, turn, and then go forward this way. Now with a one-hander, index strings on the strings, Gia, fingertips, left elbow up, turn. You can do 3 things simultaneously. Turn, change your grip, and straighten your arm, and it looks like this. And now you step and you go forward this way. So you turn, and then you go forward, like this. With the underspin backhand, turn, change your grip, have your arm on the inside. Go slightly down, and go back up. Hand-to-hand forms a line. Here's the archway. You know you're swinging like this. You want to swing in this position. Your two-handed backhand. Gia, your arms are to the outside. Your racket's too low. Keep the racket eye level. High, low, high, inside out. Have your arm on the inside, like this. Close the racket head. Lift this front leg. Follow through is this way. Serve and overhead. On your overhead, a lot of positives, but crossover steps, more body rotation. Take the breath out. Keep the left hand on the racket till you start the forward swing. Everything's going to go up and out to the right, like this. Now, because you have a continental grip, the strings face this way. Okay? You don't want to be facing forward on your serve or your overhead. On your serve, deuce court, just your stance. Add court, you got the stance. So if the camera is the net, And I'm going to be over here in the deuce court. Skateboard to the deuce court, but you go like this. When you go to the ad court, you've got the stance. You're like this, in this position. We have a word picture method for the serve. Plug in 2 words as one. Tennis Smith, just on YouTube, Tennis Smith. Word picture method for the serve. You'll see a half dozen kids. Watch each of them, and you'll see them going through skateboard, handcuffs, bathroom scale 1, bathroom scale 2. So like a school project, you go and you write down the images. Then you make a poster and you put it next to a full-length mirror. Winners are willing to do what non-winners are not willing to do. So how many people hang a string from the ceiling? Not too many. How many people play college tennis? Less than 3%. How many people hang the string from the ceiling? Less than 3%. How many people shout swing in front of the mirror? Less than 3%. Right? So it's not the pain of regret that you want. That lasts a lifetime. You want the pain of discipline. So you're here. So now what I'm going to do, turn like a baseball pitcher. We have the palm down. We say palm down like the cobra position, like a snake, like this. Hang on the ball with your left hand. Letter J. Toss it 1 o'clock. You're going to have the motion of combing your hair. Comb the friend's hair. I was going to say that you want to let the shoulder go forward first, and then the opposite equal reaction is the elbow bends like this. Now you can hear the air pocket this way. Go to some garage sales. What you want to do is get some old rackets, and then actually throw the old rackets. So you're like this, and then you turn, and it's a throwing motion. Power X is one of the terms. So you're going to go like this. Now you come around to the side, like you're talking on a telephone. This is the football throwing position. 90 degrees, and the angle of the racket, the hitting hand, the right hand for you is like this. Not exaggerated, but just like this. So then you throw the ball out like this. So the left arm goes like this. You turn, right in arm, left arm goes out. Here's the Power X. Like you see the wristwatch. Go up, give the giant the high five. So like on your serve, for example, it starts to look like you have the turn. I'm sure you've been taught that. But then what happens, you let this arm go down, okay, and this arm goes up. That's what we mean by a scissors. So you toss really high to so this arm can catch up. To get the low toss, okay, you're going to throw rackets. You're going to hang a string from the ceiling. You take 3 balls. This kind of drills we could do tomorrow is you're going to run forward and hit balls on the run. Okay? All right, let's go back to a review where you have 8 strokes divided into 4 categories, 4 times 2. So right here, watch how similar these 2 strokes are. Forehand ground stroke. Now the forehand volley. Now the backhand two-handed volley. The backhanded two-hand ground stroke. Okay, the one-handed backhand volley. The underspin backhand. So these 2 shots go together. The one-handed backhand volley, the underspin backhand. The overhead, and then the serve. On the serve, your stance. A platform stance is you swing and you step. And you can go in with your right foot first. That's what Pancho Gonzalez did, great player. Roger Federer has a platform stance. Pete Sampras, they serve, they go in with their left foot. The pinpoint, in other words, you can get ground reaction force. You got to be able to push off the ground. The pinpoint, you actually do that. You put both feet up on a pin. You got to turn, but you got to do it properly. And look up here for a minute, and I'm going to bring my feet in like this. So I get rotation. Watch, my racket's going to go like this. My knees, my hips, and my shoulders go like this. So now I'm going to turn this way in this position. I haven't let go of the ball yet. I turn. Now to get more rotation, I come up with my feet. I still haven't let go of the ball yet. I go slow in the beginning. Now the toss, I'm going to hang on to the ball till shoulder level, and I'm going to arc it this way. That's the way the toss is going to go. Now you look straight up. Now again, this is a school project. It's a tennis project. You don't have to watch the whole tape. It's taking some time to make the tape. But just serves. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bounce the ball. So I just say bounce, target, contact. Bounce, target, contact. But you're not doing that. You're looking up this way. And that's where you're tossing. The riddle, does the racket find the toss? Does the toss find the racket? The racket's in the same place each time. So toss to your swing. The swing is more important. The swing finds the toss. You should be able to swing with your eyes closed and hit a serve. So the do's and don'ts. Forehand volley, the only thing is, it's just slightly you're off. Your elbow needs to be like this. Just get your elbow raised. Now keep the racket up like this. Don't let the racket head go like this. Forehand ground stroke, how you change your grip. Don't change your grip like this. Change your grip like this. Let the racket be higher, just like your own head, and go way up on the finish. Way up. Backhand volley. Okay? The two-handed backhand volley, you've got to change the backhand grip. Get the right arm straight. You hit like this. You need to be out here like this. Two-handed backhand ground stroke. Your arms to the outside. The racket hits low. Keep the racket up high. Keep it on the inside. Go out away from your body. Inside out. One-handed backhand volley. Same thing. Out here, this is where the volley is. Arms are level. Underspin backhand, you can't go like this. You've got to go like this. Overhead, again, very good on the overhead. Crossover steps, really be aggressive. Go up from the shoulder. When the shoulder goes forward, watch what happens. Shoulder goes forward, the elbow goes backwards. And I get this action. And so you're this way. Oh, serve. Not like this. High toss. Turn. Low toss. You're going to be in this position. We call it a power line. So this tape's about information. Then applied information, we're going to show you drills on how to do it. And it's all online. It's okay. I'm going to do this right here. In this position. Now when you hit a serve, you're not doing that. You're actually facing forward this way. All right, last thing. Efficient, inefficient. If I scratch my ear like this, it's efficient. If I take 3 laps around my head and scratch my ear, that's inefficient. Either way, I get to scratch my ear. You have some inefficiencies. It's not that it's wrong, but like say, for example, your forehand volley. Forehand ground stroke. A lot of your strokes just need a little tweaking, a little band-aid, like this. But your serve needs more work. Serve needs more work. That's good that you're looking over here and you're nodding. That's called coachability. So your serve should have this look. Your serve shouldn't have this look. Your body's perfectly straight, and you're like this, in this position. So, 3 secrets of tennis are practice, practice, practice. Okay, there's so many ways to label practice. Solo practice, backboard practice, mirror training, okay, the driveway workout, a partner tossing you balls. You toss me 8, I toss you 8. And just, we talked about backboards. You've got to find ways to hit more balls, but hit more balls efficiently. All right, that book is closed.